September 30th is National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. We acknowledge that we, CHCH, here on Innovation Drive, are within the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. As a part of the City of Hamilton, we are also situated among the traditional territories of the Neutral, Haudenosaunee, on land which is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit and Métis peoples. We thank the Mississaugas of the Credit and our First Nations neighbors for sharing this land with us, and we commit ourselves to listening, learning, celebrating, and developing respectful and mutual, meaningful relationships with each other. Many events were held across our region today to mark the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Julie Sharp joins us now with more on the day. Julie.
Good evening, Matt. Hundreds of people gathered at Hamilton's West Harbour to honor the survivors of residential schools and to remember those who never returned home. Drumming, singing, and storytelling were a part of today's celebration. Drums beating, singing, and storytelling could be heard at Hamilton's West Harbour earlier today, where hundreds of people gathered to honor the survivors of residential schools and to remember those who never returned home. Darlene LaFern shared her experience as a residential school survivor. She says storytelling is one of the ways to move forward with reconciliation.
Because sometimes you read about it or you don't ever read about it and you're going, that actually happened, and then you're here to talk about it. So then it gives a reality of this is what's going on, and this is how it's impacted our family.
Those in attendance today included Nicodemus Blackbird. He says LaFern's story resonated with him.
When the lady was speaking, it brought so many memories of all the stories that we shared in common. And when she did mention reconciliation, it's only a word. It has to have action.
One of the organizers, Brandy Pasalik, says there are many ways to take action moving forward.
Support your local Indigenous artists. Sit and speak to elders. Sit and speak to survivors. Listen to their stories. Visit cultural centers.
She says events like today are part of the healing journey.
It's a time, again, for community to come together. It's a time for Indigenous, non-Indigenous people to come together. It's a time to really sit and listen. Listen to those truths, the truths that have happened in the past.
Paslik says although today is a step in the right direction, there is still a lot of work that needs to be done.
Being present today is a huge step forward, but not to let that stop you from moving forward in the future.
Survivor LaFern says more is needed than one day of recognition.
No, I don't think one day is enough.
In 2021, the federal government declared September 30th as a National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. It's a day to honor those who survived and the children who never returned home from government-funded residential schools. Matt?